The Washington Post has tallied 30,000 false or misleading claims coming from Donald Trump in his 4 years in the Oval Office. He will go down in history as many things, but one moniker is certain. He is the post-truth president. And as my next guest says, post-truth is pre-fascism. So the question confronting America as it prepares to inaugurate Joe Biden is, how does the entire nation, not just the White House, get back to honesty and the rule of law, trust in elections, and every other marker of a healthy democracy? Tim Snyder is a history professor at Yale, a scholar of the Holocaust, and one of the world's foremost experts on authoritarianism. If you haven't read his book on tyranny, now is the time to do so. Welcome, Tim. I want to start by asking you to explain that wonderful line in your book, post-truth is pre-fascism. What do you mean?
Well, by post-truth, I mean the turn in our culture, which has gone all too far, where we just accept that there's only opinion and there isn't truth. You have your views, I have my views, we look at each other and we walk away. The problem with that is that allows politicians, and we've just seen this happen, tell ever bigger lies until those lies become violent. At the same time, we're in a post-truth culture because we've let the sources of facts go away. Facts don't arise by themselves. You need work, you need investment, and above all, you need local news and local reporters. We've been letting that die for the last 10 or 20 years. We have to restore that. When people don't believe in truth and there are no facts to be had, what happens next is that we fall back on belief. There's a vacuum that's filled by spectacle. Politicians emerge who are wealthy or charismatic, and they fill that vacuum, they fill that void with a myth, with a story, with their own personality. And that's when you start moving towards fascism.
So wouldn't it be fair to say that perhaps the most disturbing and the long-term dangerous thing that has happened in the last 2 or 3 weeks may not even be the attack on the Capitol? It is this widely held conspiracy theory that the election was stolen that seems, it seems difficult to dispute it to the people who believe it, despite the fact that you've had audit after audit, recount after recount, 60 court cases where the courts all ruled against the Trump administration. That seems to me to be, the most pernicious part of what we are living with now.
I think one of the ways it's pernicious is that the two events are directly connected. What happened in November is that Mr. Trump moved from being someone who continuously told lies to being someone who told a big lie. The claim that he won the election is a big lie. It's not just false, as you say, it's self-contradictory. How could there have been fraud against him when there wasn't fraud against other Republicans? It's also a big lie in that it reaches into the dark parts of American history, because what he's really saying is, if we didn't count those black votes, then I would have won. And so the thing about a big lie is that it brings you in. If you believe it, then you feel like everyone else is against you, because the facts are against you and a lot of other people are against you. And if you really believe the big lie, it demands action. And once you take action for the big lie, like, for example, you storm the Capitol, of course you're going to believe it even more. Now you're committed to it. So we have to recognize this for what it is. It's a big lie. And we have to try to break it in the ways that you can break big lies, which is people of responsibility telling the truth, and people who tell big lies that lead to violence being forced to take responsibility and accountability.
You talk, as I recall in your book, about how even if you support the rule of law, if you believe in constitutional democracy, don't just say it, figure out a way to take one piece of it, one institution, mm-hmm. one judge, one court, and support people if they're trying to do the right thing.
Yeah, thank you for remembering that. I mean, that's, I think, lesson 2 on tyranny. And the idea is that we can't do everything, that we can do something. The passive position is to say, as too many of us have said, the institutions are going to hold, the institutions are going to protect us. The active democratic thing to do is to say, hold on, those institutions need us. In fact, those institutions can't be better than we are ourselves. And so you choose one. It could be a newspaper that you pay your subscription for. It could be a labor union that you join. It could be a court that you pay attention to. If you are a lawyer or a doctor, you can try to inject some ethics into your professional organizations and hold your colleagues accountable. Everyone can do something besides vote and tell the truth. We can all affirm these institutions. And if we do that, that's actually what democracy looks like. Democracy isn't just about rising and falling or dramatic things that happen in Washington, D.C. It's about a kind of forward commitment from us, both to truth and to engagement.
Facts first, truth first. Tim Snyder, always a pleasure.
Thank you. Pleasure was mine.